I'm Robert Cardoza, and you're watching On the Street, the intersection of business and politics, and we're at the interview section of my show, and I am just tremendously excited to introduce to you a really different concept of what a lot of people need today. I'm going to talk to Susan Asay, the president and founder of A.P.EX, which is American Professional Exchange and Pro Au Pair. And Susan, welcome aboard to the show. What a unique system you have. You actually provide professionals to deal with special needs children.
Well, thank you, Rob, for the welcome. Yes, we do provide special needs services, live-in childcare for families who are in need of high quality and educated care professionals.
And you're getting these people from not only China, but you're getting them from Germany. They're trained, they're well prepared. They're not licensed here in the United States. You're able to get them here simply so they can get the experience necessary so they can go on back to their own homelands and be able to benefit from that experience in their own chosen professions.
That's correct.
And by doing that, you're able to offer a real value to the consumer here in the United States and, as I understand, Australia.
Yes, that's correct.
So why don't we talk about how you're able to deal with that, and what the parameters are, what these people are really capable of doing, and the fact that they still need their licensed professionals here. It's not like you're replacing that, right?
That's correct, yeah. The candidates who come here, let's say an occupational therapist or a physical therapist who had finished their education in Germany and had gained experience working with special needs children, when they come here, a family can hire them as their professional special needs au pair on a live-in basis to help them with their day-to-day chores. They can accompany them to the U.S. therapists, attend the sessions there, get on board with what the goals are for the child, and then come home and introduce and implement the homework into the day-to-day life, which is very, is very emotional for many parents when they talk about their kids and how well they can do with that one-on-one attention and the patience those people bring with them.
Well, Susan, I'm an old guy, so you're going to need to help me with some definitions or some differences. When I was a young guy and I was raising my family, we had babysitters, and we've heard about au pairs. But in this particular case, we're talking about trained professionals. Can you kind of talk about the difference between an au pair, a babysitter, and this trained professional?
Absolutely. That's a question I'm actually getting a lot from my host families. So the difference between a traditional au pair is usually an 18-year-old high school student who finished their schooling and then doesn't know what they're going to study, so they want to take a year off. And the easiest way for them and most inexpensive way for them to go abroad is to come to the United States as an au pair, because they don't have to pay anything, the family is taking care of room and board, and they get a stipend. So the family gets somebody who might be interested in caring for children, but they're really more like a mother's helper. And that's what the traditional au pair programs are made for. Our program is using that concept and bringing in people who are trained professionals who have experience and then work with families so they can be more than just a mother's helper.
Now, you already talked about your financial background, just mentioned it. And people, I think, would find it interesting that by training, you are a financial strategist, a financial planner, but at some point you recognized this need. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yes. When I was working at the asset management firm as the biggest bond manager in the world, I was very much plugged into my job, and when I got pregnant, I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? So I looked at domestic nannies and couldn't find what I was looking for with the qualification, because I was also looking for the German part. That brought me back to my German background. I'm German. I grew up there, got my education there, and so I looked back to Germany and found these amazing candidates who were dedicated to childcare, to nursing, and had the patience from the special needs professions that I thought, oh my God, this would be perfect. If I could convince them to come here and work for my family, I would include them. That would be an amazing experience for them. My kids would be bilingual, and everybody would have a benefit. That's how I started.
That's phenomenal. I mean, that's really
And-
phenomenal. My guess is you're getting a lot more personal satisfaction out of what you're doing now than you did then.
Absolutely.
So you have offices around. You have offices in Australia and offices here in the United States. Offices, I think, in Germany.
Yes.
You're contacting people all the time. Lots and lots of resources. How about a phone number for people that would be interested in your services, and hopefully a website as well?
Sure. www.proaupair.com. So it's P-R-O, like a professional, and then A-U-P-A-I-R.com.
Okay. What a phenomenal idea. How long have you been doing this?
We've been doing this now professionally since 5 years, and I started when my son was born.
And you're still smiling and your eyes are still sparkling, so you must really, really be happy.
Very satisfying.
Well, Susan Asay, I want to tell you how pleased I am, how exciting this is that you're doing. Anybody that needs to have professionals that have been trained to care for the most precious belongings they have, you've got to be thinking about Susan. You've been watching On the Street, the intersection of business and politics, and me, I'm Robert Cardoza.